Okay, our next speaker is Louise Watanabe. He is a member of the Manzanar Committee, which sponsors an annual pilgrimage to and student program at Manzanar. Manzanar, of course, was one of the internment camps set up by our government for Japanese Americans during World War II. Louis's grandfather, Ryozo Kato, built Manzanar's 2 stone sentry posts and the cemetery monument, or Ireto, that was photographed by Ansel Adams. It's a famous photo. You can see it on the internet. Louis was a candidate for the Washington State Senate in 2014. Louise Watanabe.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Louise Watanabe. So I've been asked to address the Japanese American incarceration during World War II and its relevance to immigrants today. So first of all, immigrants in this country aren't afforded the same rights as even the criminal justice system when it comes to detention. That immigrants aren't afforded lawyers to defend them, so they often have to represent themselves. And on top of that, they face judges who are employees of the Department of Justice. The government has its thumb on the scales of justice. And so the Japanese American community is no stranger to lies and hysteria and having the government's thumb on the scales of justice. Like current immigrants, especially the Venezuelans, we've experienced an executive order and the invocation of the Enemy Alien Act, which resulted in the incarceration of 120,000 Japanese Americans. We went to the 10 different war relocation camps, Manzanar being one of them. And although the majority of the Japanese were like my parents, and my aunts and uncles were born here and born American citizens, they had to suffer until back in the 80s when we received reparations and an official apology from the U.S. government. And this trauma still lingers in our community through the generations. And today we see this mistake being repeated at a much larger scale. Guantanamo being used as a detention center is an expansion of detention. And so this is a detriment to our country, and never again is now. So when it comes to the cemetery monument that my grandfather Ryozo Kato built, it was actually in response to the fact that some people died at Manzanar. There was a protest, and what happened is that two men died from gunshots, and there was a Dr. Godo who was there, and to examine the bodies, and what he found was that they were shot in the back, and the army wanted for him to change his testimony. Actually, the autopsy report that he has is unsigned, and it was unsigned, and besides that, he was immediately removed from Manzanar after he had refused to sign that autopsy report. Okay, but so we're seeing lies and fabrications right now. So I just want to let you know that this happened in 1943, and it's now happening now. Okay, so what else do I want to say? Well, first of all, if you want to hear more about the lies and its relevance, I suggest you listen to Rachel Maddow's 6-part podcast called A Burn Order, and that will give you a real sense of that. And if you also look on the Manzanar Committee website, we had an August 23 a national day of action with the National Parks Conservation Association, and basically that was because of the Trump administration's actions and attacks against the truth and about our history and about our democracy. So now you may have heard a few days ago, Renee Nicole Good was in her SUV in Minneapolis and was shot by an ICE officer and killed him, and so he killed her. And you'll hear unbelievable excuses from federal officials saying that she was a terrorist, that they blame her for her own death, and they even attempt to cover up the investigation by having the FBI take over the investigation when they haven't even complied with releasing all the Epstein files. Okay, so I think this is an example again of why this is so relevant. Why Guantanamo is just one other aspect about this, being able to hide away people without having access to the justice system and without being able to easily meet with lawyers. And I've worked in immigration since 2017 because of my family's experience with incarceration, and I can say that I visited the Adelanto Detention Center, and one of the first things I experienced was a hunger strike. And I was sent to actually talk to some of the people who were hunger strikers because they were separated. And what I basically saw was they had a hunger strike because they were given food that had worms in it. They had water that wasn't in sanitary conditions. And there have been a number of hunger strikes since that time in 2017. So, ICE officers are really, they don't have the same authority as police officers. I mean, they're specifically for immigration, so they have less authority than police officers. They even have less training than police officers. So all I have to say about that is that given how they've handled prisoners in the detention centers and all these other things that they have been doing in the last year, including wearing masks and hiding their badges, is that, these are fake officers that are encouraged to do lawless things by a fake president. So anyway, I just want you to remember that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.